Okay, Preethi, you can start now.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. So this is another class. We are already there at the third class now. So I just wanted to understand if you have already gone through my previous presentation and those who have missed my presentation on day before yesterday. And did anyone get a chance to work on the assignments that which I have given? So it would be great, if you can just come up with the solutions that which you thought would be correct, or which you have come up with an idea of solving those assignments. So anybody can give me or send me the code that which you have tried on. We can discuss on that.
What we can also do while we are having some more people join us later on, maybe we can skip this portion and start the lecture and then come back to this thing at the end.
Okay, so you want me to go ahead and go forward with the other topics?
With the topics, yeah.
Okay, fine.
The topics, and then we come back.
Okay, so coming to today's agenda, this is what I would be doing it, like solutions to the earlier assignment. As sir was saying, we can discuss it at later point of time. And today I would be introducing.
We are not seeing your screen.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry.
The presentation screen is not.
Is it visible now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So going forward, today we will be covering the loop concepts, and I wanted to just reiterate on whatever I have introduced day before yesterday, the sequences or the data structures. So I just wanted to give the methods that which we call, or how do we use them in the loops and all that stuff, and then we'll have a couple of assignments. What I would be doing is that I would initially talk about the topics, the loops and everything. I'll try to walk you through with the slides, and then we can do as exercise or a coding exercise parallelly, like interactively. Take a scenario and keep on adding the codes that which we learned, the loop concepts, or looping through the sequences, the data structures. So that it would be better, you all would have a better understanding on how it is being done and everything. So going forward, so as you know, the reason why we come up with loop is that we iterate through a sequence or through a set of list items or elements, or given an array. If you wanted to perform the similar type of operation over and over again for all the items or the elements present in the loop, then we go for loops. So the for loop in Python, it is to iterate over a sequence or a data structure, which meant list, a tuple, or a string, and other iterable objects. So loop continues until we reach the last item in the sequence, and the body of the loop, it is you can see the body of the loop as per the indentation. We learned about indentation in the last class. So it is like we give a a couple of spaces to the right and start the statement. So the end of the loop is that when you start the other statement, which is equivalent to the line that where you started the for loop. So this is the flow chart of the for loop. So for each item in the sequence, we'll check if the last item is reached. If it is not reached, then we do whatever is been in the body of the loop and exit the loop. So here in for loop, there is a function called range. So what is range? A range, as the term denotes, it is a range of numbers, say from 0 to n. That is, like we are talking about a range of numbers from 0 to n. So we can iterate a sequence of numbers using that range function. So I can say for I in range of 0 to 100. It means that you are starting a for loop starting from 0 and you are iterating it till 100 numbers or till the 100th number. So this is one of the ways of using its range function. Like you can just specify a range of 10 and it generates numbers from 0 to 9. So similarly, you can also define the start, stop, and step size. So what do you mean by step size? When you're talking about C, C++, or PHP, what do you do in terms of a for loop? You say for I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 11, I plus plus, right? So similarly, you can say that range 0, comma stop 10, comma you're incrementing it with 1 or 2 or 3. So step size, if it is not mentioned to anything, it defaults it to 1, which means it would be incrementing it by 1. So if it is provided, then it increments the next number accordingly. So it is just nothing but your C or C++ for loop for I equal to 0, I is less than or equal to some number, comma I plus plus. So instead you would just say for I in range of start, which is 0, comma 10, comma if it is 1, I will not mention anything, or if it is 2, then I would say comma 2. So which means I'm incrementing it by 2. So we'll see it in an example. If you see, this is one of the ways of printing range. Print range of 2, 20, 3. By the way, you can use it in the print command also. Range by itself is a function. It can be used either in for loop or in a print statement, or wherever you find like you wanted it to be used, wherever the range function can be used. So it displays the sequence of numbers starting from 2, incremented by 3 till 20. Okay. So it can be also combined with the length function. So you can say that you don't know the range of a for loop or range of a list item that which you are iterating. I'll show it through an example also, like when we are talking in terms of code, I can show it in the example. But for example, there is a tuple, or there is a list, or there is a sequence, any of the sequences, and you don't know the length of the sequence because it is dynamically generated. So at that point of time, you would say that range of length of that particular list name or the tuple name or the data structure name. So it means that it is creating a range starting from 0. By default, it takes from 0 and comma the length. The length would be the stop point. Say the length is 3. So it would say it would take it to be range of 0, 3. So any questions? So interestingly, there is another concept called for loop else. So literally we can give an else statement in a for loop. It's an optional else block, but if at all, so as we know, as we have seen the flow chart of for loop, for each statement, and we'll check if the last item has been reached. If it is yes, it exits the loop. If it is no, it continues the body of for. So when you say for loop else, it means that it checks for the last item. If it is yes, we can keep an else block here and we can write the body of else block. So for example, this is a sample program for execution. I'm having a list 0, 1, 5, and for I in digits, okay, you're printing all the digit numbers, else you're exiting it and you're saying that no items left, I'm done. So the output would be 0, 1, 5, and it is printing the else statement here, no items left. So similarly, this is another usage of if else in the first statement. So here I'm assigning a student name, which is some Soyuz or something, and I'm creating a dictionary, James, Jules, and Arthur. Okay, it is a program to just display the student's mark from the record. Okay, I'm just iterating it through this dictionary for student in marks, and if student equal to student name, then we are just trying to print that student name's mark, and we are breaking it. So the output of this program would be no entry with the name found, because it is coming into the else block. and this else is pertaining to the for statement, not the if. So going forward, so now let's talk about while loop. So while loop, we use while loop when you know when you are giving a test condition, or when you don't know where exactly when you want to break the list, or when you wanted to break a loop with a test condition, then we use the while loop. So like as I said, we generally use this loop when we don't know the number of times to iterate beforehand. We don't know like how many times the loop gets iterated. So at that point of time, we generally use a while loop. Okay, and this is a sample program of while loop. So this is just the program to add all natural numbers, and we take an input parameter, or either take an input parameter or just initialize some n value. So here when n equal to 10, okay, I'm just giving a test condition saying that until and unless this particular number is being reached, you keep on adding, you just update the counter. So at the end, the sum of that would be printed. So the sum is 10 and 55. Enter n, and I entered it to be 10, and the sum is 55. So same thing again, as there is an else part in the for loop, the same concept is being introduced with the while loop as well. So while a test condition, you just go inside the loop, else you come out of the loop, and you do some condition, or you come out of the test condition loop and you execute that part and again iterate through it. So that is how it goes on. So the else part is executed if the condition in the while loop evaluates to the false, and while loop can be terminated. Again, the while loop can be terminated, any loop can be terminated with a break statement, and it can be continued with a continue statement. We will see further. And when there is a break statement, in such cases, the else part would be ignored. The reason being, we are exiting from the while loop. So hence while loop's else part runs, or for loop else part would run only if there is no break statement given in the loop. So this is one of the examples, okay, how to use the else part. So if you see, there is a counter that is already been set, and while counter is less than 3, I'm printing it like inside loop. So once the counter is greater than 3, I'm coming out of the loop and I'm printing else. So this is how we use the while and else condition with the while. So as I was mentioning, there is something called break. Usage of break statement within the loops. So you enter into a loop, you test for an expression, or you check if the last item is being iterated or not. So if it is false, you exit the loop. And if there is a test condition within the loop, and there would be a break statement, and if a break is being hit, you exit the loop. If the break is not hit, again you execute the loop until the test condition is being reached. So we already seen the break part as part of this example. If you see, we iterate through the loop. There is a condition, there is a test condition here. Okay, we iterate through the loop when this student, the element in the list in the dictionary, it checks through every element in the dictionary and checks if that element matches to the student named Soyuj. If that doesn't match, it is going to break. No, sorry, if it matches, it is going to break. If it doesn't match, it is going to continue through the loop. So that is how it goes. So once it finds an entry with a matching record, it would break. So going forward with continue, there's similarly similar to break, there is something called continue. Okay, the continue statement is used to skip the rest of the code inside a loop for the current iteration only. For example, for var in a sequence, if there is a condition, you would just continue. That's it. You don't do any operation, but it just continues with whatever the codes are being given inside the if condition. So the loop does not terminate like it is being done in break. It does not terminate. So even that condition. So there'll be a scenario like even if that condition is being met, we just assume that we wanted that that particular loop to continue. So in those scenarios we give continue. So for example, so this is a program to show like continue statements inside loops. So for val in a string, okay, if val equal to I, just do nothing, just continue. Okay, so the output of the program would be strng, because if it is I am not saying, I'm not asking to do any operation, I'm just asking it to proceed further. So this is how the continue statement works. So similarly, there is something called pass that is introduced in Python. Okay, pass is nothing but there is no operation performed. It can be similar to continue, but pass is something that it can be present in any of things. Like it can be defined in function, it can be defined in a class, it can be defined in a method, it can be defined in a loop. Pass is like our colloquial term. When you say pass, you don't know anything, you're just passing it to the next person in the round. Like when we play games, if I'm playing words building, I don't know any word with E, so I pass it. So which means that I'm asking the other opponent to continue. So similarly, even in Python pass, it says that I don't know anything. There is no operation present with me. Continue with whatever is being executed, is being there at that point of time. Continue with the next statement. So this would be useful when you are coding. If you wanted to create a method or a function and you don't know what to do at that point of time, so you would just define the function or define a method and you just say pass. You just mention pass. So it means that the function would be defined, but there are no operations performed in that function. No operations are performed. So the example is like this, for val in sequence, for the entire sequence, for this set of sequences PASS, okay, when I'm iterating through that sequence set and saying pass. So the output would be nothing. It is just a placeholder, or it just performs nothing at that point of time. So now introducing the data types again, as I was mentioning, we'll just try and see how these loop concepts, for loop, while loop, are being performed using these data types, like be it list, tuple, set, dictionary, string. So when I say sequences falls under list, tuple, string, dictionary, and set. So these are said to be sequences. So as I said again, tuple is an ordered collection of sequence of items, and the difference between a tuple and a list is that a tuple cannot be editable. It means that once you define a tuple, it is defined across the program. At any point of time, you cannot modify an element in the tuple. So in the tuple, you can either delete a tuple altogether, or you can append. Append in the sense there is a tuple A equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, there is a tuple B is equal to 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can append these two tuples, but you cannot modify a tuple item inside a tuple. For example, this is how we create a tuple. Okay, tuple equal to and this can be a combination of anything. My tuple equal to, I created a string, I created a list, and I created another tuple. Okay, this is my tuple. So it can be combination of any data type, or it also can be created without these braces. So with these parentheses or braces. So it can be my tuple equal to 3, which is again an integer, 4.6 is a float, and dog is a string. Okay, and I can unpack a tuple. When you say unpack, you're giving some index values to it. Okay, A, B, C equal to my tuple. So which means that if you say A, okay, you are assigning some key to this. So print of A. So it would be given 3. Okay, print of B, it would give 4.6. Print of C, it gives dog. Okay, so if you want, I can just show an example at this point of time. Okay, I'm just trying to create my tuple. Okay, I can create a tuple like this: 3, 4, 5, comma. Okay, 1, comma 2, comma 3. Okay, comma. I'm just trying to create a string which is Python. Okay, and I'm trying to give print of my tuple. Okay, when I try and execute, okay, this is what it is being given. Now when I say about unpacking, okay, I would say again my tuple, as I was mentioning, in Python you can reassign a variable n number of times. Now again, see, since I assigned my tuple equal to this here, I might want to reassign it saying 3, 4, 7, okay, and I would say dog. Okay, at this point of time my tuple is this, and I'm trying to unpack it 1, okay, I want to assign it by giving a variable name to it, 1, ba, b, c, d equal to my tuple. Okay, and now when I say print a, so ideally it should be giving me 3. So if you see, this is 3, which means that a value, a string, a has got a value 3. Okay, and similarly if I say print of d, so it acts as a variable now. I'm unpacking it and assigning it to a variable. So if you say d, it is giving me dog. So this is what an unpacking is. So interestingly, when I say that a tuple cannot be modified, okay, now say for example, I'm again coming back here, okay, and I'm saying my tuple and I'm trying to modify it. Okay, tuple of say for example 4th, what would be my 4? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is this. Okay, Python. I'm trying to replace it with dog. Okay, and if I say print my tuple, so it gives me an error right now. Okay, because the tuple object does not support an assignment operator. But now there is something called nested indexing in tuple. Okay, what do you mean by nested indexing is that if I say my tuple equal to the same thing and I wanted to access, okay, the 4th index position, whatever is there, since the 4th index position is an index, I wanted to access the 3rd occurrence of it. Okay, I'm trying to print it. So see this, there is a h already that is being printed. So which means that my fourth element in the tuple 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th element, and in that I'm trying to print the 3rd indexed value or the item in that string. So which is 0, 1, 2, 3. H is the 0th, third element in that string. So having learned about nested, this is called nested indexing. Okay, now when we see this nested indexing, there is also an interesting method or wherein, as you already know, that tuple cannot be modified, that which we already saw here. You cannot assign or change a new value to a tuple. But when you're talking about list item within a tuple, so I said list is already a changeable item. Like list can be mutable, can be an editable item. So now I can come here and change the list. So what is my list item? Third. Okay, third index element. I'm trying to change the first or the second item of that to be 7. Okay, and now I'm trying to print my tuple here. See this? So it has changed. So it has changed from 2 to 7. So this is only possible if your tuple has got a list in it. So it will not be possible with any other item, because a string can again be a uneditable thing. You cannot assign or you cannot edit an existing string. You can access the string, but you cannot edit a string. Okay, and these things 3, 4, 5, these are not within a list. It is just a tuple element. So these things cannot be editable. So you can only edit those items. Now, for example, I'm again trying to reinitialize my tuple, saying that 3, 4, 5, comma, and I'm trying to assign it to be a dictionary. Okay, I'm saying 0 is test. Okay, and I'm saying 1 would be cat. Okay, and I'm saying this to be Python again. Okay, now let's check what my tuple looks like. Okay, so my new tuple is 3, 4, 5, and there is a dictionary in between, and there is a Python. Okay, now what I'm trying to do is I would try to change. Now I'm changing the third occurrence, the third tuple item 0, 1, 2, and I'm changing the value of the key 1 to dog, and I'm again printing my tuple. So you see this is already being changed. So these are the operations. Sorry,
there is a question by Reis.
Can we append a list within a tuple? Can we append a list within a tuple? How do you append a list within a tuple? So to append a list within a tuple, so what are the functions I told for appending a list? So append, right, and insert, right, and then these are the two functions that are possible. Now, how do you do that? So if I wanted to use either of the functions, I need something called a name that is already been assigned to a list. Okay, so for example, I can do list equal to, list is a keyword. So list underscore equal to 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, something. Okay, now I can just say list underscore e dot append. Okay, now the same logic, if I try to use append of 5, append of 6, 5, 6. Okay, I can possibly do this, but here this 1, 2, 3, this list doesn't have a name to it. So even if I wanted to append something, how do I go about doing it? So question to that, I would say it is no. You cannot append a list within a tuple, but you can obviously append a list. So yeah, so these are the things that are possible within the tuple. Okay, so whatever can be modified, like dictionary or list items, they can be modified within a tuple. Okay, rest all the tuple items like 3, 4, 5 or Python like that, which are independent of it being a list or a dictionary, cannot be modified. Okay, coming back to the presentation again. So these are all been covered. So this is one of the sample programs. I just gave it. So as I said, you can concatenate two existing tuples. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3 tuple, one tuple, and 4, 5, 6 as another tuple. Those two are independent tuples altogether. Okay, I can append these two by using a plus operator here. Okay.
There is another question.
Whether the size of the tuple is fixed or not. Yes, the size of the tuple is been fixed. If you see this at any point of time, I was just modifying the existing tuple or in an existing list item in a tuple, but I'm not increasing it. So definitely the size of the tuple is fixed. You cannot modify. I declared my tuple equal to this. Okay. So if I'm using my tuple all along, if I wanted to iterate through my tuple, my length would remain same. I cannot append to it. I cannot delete an item from it. I cannot say my tuple dot remove something. Okay, I cannot say remove 3 because that is the main logic behind the tuple. If you see, PyCharm has already indicated this. This is a tuple, and if you see this, okay. So these things cannot be okay. Let me just execute the program for you. Tuple object has no attribute called remove, so remove is not possible. So what I can do is that I can just delete my tuple. That's it. So there'll be no occurrence of, like, no reference to my tuple going forward. So to be precise, now my tuple size, coming back and answering to a question, my tuple size is fixed. This thing I'm saying is that when you are using a combination of list items and a string and an integers in a tuple, you can modify the given dictionary item or given list item. I'm saying only modifying the existing values. So I hope I answered the. So going forward, now this is one of the sample programs to concatenate. This is how we do the concatenation operation. Like 1, 2, 3 plus 4, 5, 6. I can concatenate these two tuples, and my end result would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and there is another thing called repeat. Okay, a function called repeat, or I can repeat the tuple n number of times. The same tuple I can repeat n number of times. So I can say repeat, comma, okay, into 3 times. So this is being repeated. Repeat, comma, repeat, comma, repeat. So if I just show it in terms of an example here, okay, I'm just reassigning my tuple, or I would say just print. Okay, I am saying repeat Python. Okay, if you don't give this, if you don't give a comma here, so it is not going to repeat it because it is trying to create a tuple with the same string values. Okay, so if you see, it is just repeating Python in the same tuple as part of same tuple. So yeah, so this is another usage, or this is another function. So it is about giving a count. So I'm just asking my tuple equal to apple, and I'm trying to print count how many of P's are there. The output would be there are 2 P's, and I'm trying to get the index position of L, so it would be 3. So these are some of the functions that which we generally use it for tuple. So so these are the string data types. Okay, the string data types is again, it is similar to that of a tuple, saying that it cannot be modified at any given point of time. But it can be used with a slicing operator. So for example, I would say my string. Okay, my string equal to Python is awesome. Okay, and I can say print of my string here. So it is just similar to that of whatever is our general programming language when you say print my string. Okay, and I'm trying to access my string with a slicing operator. Okay, I'm trying to get anything that is from starting from the third index position. I'm trying to capture everything from that. Okay, so I would say print. So if I run this program, so it is from the third character, from the third index position, it is printing everything. Okay, I can use the negative index position also, saying my string of, I'm trying to access the last three things. Okay, the last three variable, three characters of the variable. So if you see, it is 1, 2, 3. So it starts from -3 to here. Okay. So similar to that of a tuple or like other sequence operations, there are many operations a string can do. Okay, and this is like its escape sequence. So when I say an escape sequence, okay, if say for example, this is my string Pythons. I say Pythons. Okay, I was mentioning in the first class as well. You know, when you wanted to give a special character to it, so you do it by using by mixing the quotes. Since there is already an apostrophe there, so I'm trying to mix it with the quotes. So this is how I do it. Okay, and there is another way of trying to escape it by giving a backslash. Okay, so these are all the possible escape sequences that are there. So you might just want to have a look at this table. You can do it. So these are all you can do, like how to escape a new line, how to escape double slashes, you know, how to escape a single quote, double quote, and all these things. You know, if you give these characters, these can be escaped. The characters, these parentheses can be escaped. So there are n number of string functions. You know, these I was just mentioning in the slides also. And if you see in the slides, I just gave you in the notes, I just gave a link. So you can just go ahead to that link, because these are all the strings. These are all the methods that are possible within a string. So you might want to just go within each of the method and then understand, because it is pretty descriptive here. There is an example given for each and every method, so you can go into it and then you can come back to me if you have any doubt. So I can say that some of the functions that some of the I was just relating some of the examples here. So if you see, so there is a capitalized string. So if the capitalized string is that, you know, the init cap, the initial, the first initial cap letter would be capitalized. So if I just run the program, okay. So my old string is Python is awesome, and the capitalized string is P being capital. Okay. Now the same thing, there is a function called center. Okay. Center means that I just wanted to append padding, like we do like in our HTML or in our JavaScript, like we make that particular string to be centered, right? So you can pad with some characters. Okay, I'm padding some 24 spaces here. So when I give 24, it just takes some space characters. Okay, so the same thing this is the result of it. It is given some padding here. So 24 characters have been padded here. Okay. So same thing, if I wanted to do 24, I wanted to append with asterisks. So this is how it is going to do. So these all functions come in handy when you are trying to build a web application. So there are lot many feasible functions that which you can do with Python. So string functions as such. So there is a function called case fold. Case fold is that whatever might be the case within the string, whatever, like for example, Python is awesome. Okay, I'm just mixing the cases here, uppercase, then lowercase, then uppercase and lowercase. Okay, instead I wanted to give some beta, okay, or gamma for that. So whatever might be the variables I use or the string characters I use, it aggressively it converts them to the lowercase. Okay, so for example, beta has got a specific Unicode or a string code assigned to it. Okay, beta has got some SS value to it. So if I give beta and if I say case fold, so it converts that into SS and then prints it. So even if you see this, okay, my case folded value is awesome. Okay, it has changed. Sorry. So see, the case folded string is awesome. It has implicitly it has enforced the case value, the conversion of the case value. Apart from this, there is something called, you can explicitly say, for example, string equal to, okay, Preethi, okay, and I wanted to say string dot upper, okay, print. So these are normal case sensitive things. Okay. So there is an uppercase conversion happening here. Okay. Similarly, there is something called lower. Okay. And there is something called replace. Okay. I wanted to say, for example, print or I would say string underscore replace equal to, okay, string underscore new. Okay, I wanted to replace P with T. Okay, and I'm trying to print string underscore new. Sorry, I don't know if this is correct. Just give me a minute. I'll just check with the syntax. So, sorry, dot replace. Okay. Or I would say char could be okay. I'm replacing the character P, or I would say I'm trying to replace the first character, okay, with T. So if you see, this has been replaced. Okay. So, and you want to find the count. There is something called finding the count as well. So this is my string underscore new, and I'm trying to find the count. String dot count, string underscore new dot count of E. Okay, so E's have been repeated 2 times. Okay, these are some of the functions that which we generally use in a string operations. So, but there are an exhaustive list of string operations. Yeah. Okay. These are all functions. You might just want to have a look at it. You can just go through the link and then have a look at it. Okay. But these strings, like whatever the textbook you are referring, these are the functions that have been introduced in the textbook as Smarter Way to Learn Python. Okay, but this I've given it for our reference, for future reference. You know, when you wanted to just work with things, you might want to just check what are possible string operations that can be done. Okay, so coming to the sets. Okay, a set is again an unordered collection, not like string or tuple or list. They are ordered collection of sequences. Okay, but the set is an unordered collection of unique items. So as I was showing you earlier in my earlier class as well. So if you say set underscore new equal to, if I happen to say 1, 2, 3, okay, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, and you are trying to print the created set new. Okay. So what happens is that it just eliminates the duplicates, okay, and it just prints us the available numbers. You know, I've repeated 5 3 times, but it just gives me the first occurrence of it. So it doesn't give the duplicate values. So just to reiterate things, like tuples are used when you wanted to just when you have a constant list, when you want a constant list to be declared in a function or in your program, and you wanted just to use a constant list further in the program. So in that time we just use tuple. The execution would be faster because you cannot modify tuple at any given point of time. Similarly, the advantage of a set, okay, the set is that it already, when it is assigned it to be a set, okay, when you assign it to be in a curly braces, it automatically removes the duplicates. So this gives a huge performance when you are trying to execute in a program, you know, when you are trying to access huge data sets and you wanted to perform some analytical operations on top of it. So this actually gives a huge turnover on the performance. It just deletes the duplicate values. The set would have an exhaustive, unique collection of items, and we can perform on top of that. So these are the two scenarios when you can use tuple and sets over lists. So, so some of the operations that are possible are union, intersection, and difference and symmetric differences. Okay, these are main operations, but again, like string methods, there is an exhaustive list of methods that are possible: set dot remove, set dot add, copy, clear, and everything. Okay, you can, again, the same link has been provided. You can look at the link and then come up with the questions if you have. So I can just try and make few things. Okay, set dot add. Okay, I'm trying to add a new element to it. Okay, I'm trying to add 10. Okay, okay, and I'm trying to print it again. So you can add the items. If you see there's a 10 has been added. Okay, and similarly I can say set underscore new dot remove. Okay, and I'm trying to remove 23 from it. Okay, you can just, okay, 23 has been removed. Okay, I have two sets. The union is again similar to that of union in our set theory. Okay, you're having union of two sets. So those all things are possible. Okay, you can clear the set. Okay, so I just want to clear the set. Set underscore new dot clear. Okay, I'm trying to print it. So now your set is null. I mean, it has got nothing. See that? It has got nothing. Now your set is null. So there are a few a few methods like that. Okay. So coming to dictionary. Okay, dictionary is again, it is an unordered collection of key value pairs. Okay, and as you were seeing it earlier, I can just say my dictionary equal to, and I can create some items. 0 being 0 is Python, and 1 can be 5. Okay, and so on. Yeah. So when I just print my dictionary, it's just printing a dictionary. And like list, you can, this is a mutable, like this is an editable thing, you know. I can edit it. Okay. At this point of time, I say 5 to be, I wanted the first or the key value of 1 to be modified. Okay. I would say my dictionary of 1. Okay. I want to modify it to awesome. Okay, and I'm trying to print it again. So you can modify dictionary, but when you're modifying the dictionary, you can only change the values and not the keys. Okay, so there are some of the functions in dictionary as well. Okay, and these are the methods that can be possible in your dictionary operations. Okay, you can clear a dictionary, you can copy the dictionary, and you can get the items from the dictionary. Okay, you can update the dictionary. Okay, so these are some of the possible operations from the dictionary. Okay, I wanted to just reiterate this identity operators because I myself was having a doubt in the program that I was showing you earlier. Okay, so for example, x1 equal to 10 and y1 equal to 10. Okay, and I have something called x2 equal to string. Okay, and y2 equal to string. First of all, let me just tell you what an identity operator is again. Okay, identity operators are something that it talks in terms of a memory location. Okay, when you're saying if print x1 is y1, so it is checking if the value assigned to x1 and the value assigned to y1 reference the same memory locations. Okay, the values are same. It is 10 and 10. Okay, now if you remember in Python or for that matter any programming language, okay, there is a memory allocated, say 10. Okay, 10 is the value, and there will be a memory allocated to that 10, a reference allocated to that 10. Okay, so identity operator does this thing is that if the reference to x1 and y1, is it similar or not? Okay, so if that is the case, then it would print true or else it would print false. Okay, interesting thing I observed is that when you are talking in terms of list, okay, now I would say x3 is equal to 1, 2, 3 and same y3 is 1, 2, 3. Okay, if I print x1 is y1, it is going to return me true. But similarly, if I print x3 is y3, okay, now it is going to return me false. The reason being, though the lists are similar, it seems they are created in two different memory locations, which means that this x3 has got a different reference in the memory. Okay, and this has got a different reference in the memory. Both are different altogether. So that is the reason it is giving me false. So they are not referring the same memory location. So with this even I was confused with the last class. So I thought I would just reiterate saying that identity operator will not work with lists, because though it being similar, every list item would be created as a different reference in the memory location. So every item, every list would be assigned with a different reference. So it is independent to each other. Okay. So yeah. Now I wanted to start with, okay, any questions till now? Any questions?
You guys can also open your mic if you want to ask any question, or just put down in there 2 chats over there.
Yeah. So I wanted to start with the solutions, and from that on, I wanted to also work with the concepts that which we were talking today. Okay. So coming back to the assignment questions, I wanted to understand if anybody has worked with class 2 assignments. If so, please give me your answers in the chat. So even if they are wrong, please, that's not a problem at all, because we all are in the learning phase. Okay, so the more mistakes you do, the better you understand. So, okay, Ramsha has sent me one. That's good. Okay, any more? Okay, Ramsha has given me the solution to the second one. Okay, good. And okay, she has given me the solution to the third one also, I guess. Not the third, the fourth one. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, Tahira, I understand you're connecting through phone, but if you can just at a later point of time send me the scripts, or sir, whatever you have done, it would be great. So people, those who are connecting through phone, that is fine, but we are trying to understand, I'm trying to understand that how much beneficial or how much you have understood the classes. So it would be better if you can send the scripts across to my email ID, or to sir's email ID. So in that way I can have a better understanding on what to discuss, where to emphasize more and all. So anybody else? Ramsha, she has given me the scripts. I can discuss it. Anybody else? Okay. So yeah, Ramsha, you have used it by defining a function. So, but even this is also correct. Whatever you have done is absolutely right. But since I haven't introduced the concept of functions, I'm trying to show it in terms of, by not using a function, by using a simple thing, by just giving a random thing. Okay. Now, for example, I have a string called A, B, C. Okay, and B equal to X, Y, Z. Okay, so these two are strings. So this gives me the first value, or the first the index being 0, the first element of a string, and this also gives the first element of the string. Okay, and I'm trying to create a new variables. Test underscore A is this, and test underscore B is this, and I'm trying to append test underscore A with the first indexed element of B, and then following with the rest all, following with B and C. Okay, similarly I'm doing it with same thing here also. Okay, and I'm finally making A equal to this and B equal to C, this, and this being my latest values. Okay, so so the first value of my string is A is this and B is this. Okay, so the changed string is XBC and AYZ. Okay, and Ramsha's solution is pretty simple since she has used functions. Okay, this is Ramsha's solution. The same thing can be achieved by using functions as well, which means that my string, she has defined the function, and you are inputting two variables to that. Okay, A comma B. Okay, and what you are doing is that you're creating again 2-3 variables, okay, and assigning those 2 variables here, like she's using a slicing operator. So this means that the first element of B plus the the next all elements, or the second element and following from that. So if I run the script, if you see this, she's given Python was just P and H were interchanged. So this is one of way of doing it. So both are correct. So if you have achieved in either of the terms, then you are good, you are doing correct. Okay, coming back to our second assignment. Okay, write a Python program to get a string from a given string where all occurrences of its first character have been changed to $. So example, restart. Okay, the first occurrence would remain as is, but the next occurrence, of the same character, it is going to change it to $. Okay, this we can make it a dynamic program also, but since I have already given, we haven't talked about dynamic programming, or we haven't talked about how do we input. We can input from the user and then do it and then make modifications on top of that. So I'm not expecting I'm not expecting you to write a dynamic program. So if you see the solution that which I'm looking at, okay, it's a very straightforward, simple solution. Okay, there is a string one which I have taken it to be restart. Okay, and I'm capturing the first indexed element into a character. Okay, and I'm trying to replace whenever that character comes in. Okay, with string. Okay, and I'm just appending this character, the first character plus this. Okay, so now this is my output, new restart. Okay, Ramsha has also done in the same way. Just the thing is that she has just defined a function. Okay, she just gave the sample. She's taking the 0th element into a character, and she's replacing it with same thing. It is the same thing. We just interchange the variable names. Okay, I did not use function. She just used it function. Okay, so in her case, all the S's, how many S's are there? They have been replaced with $. So yeah, and can I send my coding now? Okay, yep, you can send the codings to all these assignments after class. You can send it to my email ID. Okay, so the next thing is that given a string and an integer number n, and remove characters from a string starting from 0 up to n. Okay, and return a new string. Okay, probably the question sounded a bit confusing, but what I meant to say is that, okay, if you can dynamically read the string and the number of characters you wanted to remove. Okay, if you are not doing that, you can statically you can assign it. Okay, I am saying that string to be is pi native. Okay, and new string is I wanted the strings to be eliminated before the 4th character, before the 5th index. Okay, whatever is been before the 5th occurrence, I just wanted to remove it. Okay, so if I just run it, okay, the removed string, or these things have to be removed, or I just wanted to print a new string with only those 4 characters from the original string that has been given. Okay, now coming back to the final question. Write a Python program to add ing at the end of a given string. Okay, and if the given string is already ing, then add ly instead. Okay, so the sample string would be abc. Okay, and the expected string would be abc ing. Okay, same thing, if it is a string, it should be stringly. Okay, so Ramsha has given me the same thing. Okay, she has taken an input. So this is how she has given me. So she has taken an she gave an input string. String is input, and she is just defining the function my string, and she is checking if the last three characters. Okay, the last three characters, if it is equal to ing, okay, then she is simply adding it ly. Else you are adding ing. Okay, so I did it the same way without defining it to be a function. So I just took string abc, okay, and I'm just taking the length of the string, and I'm just checking if the length of the string is greater than 2, and I'm also doing in the similar way, wherein I'm checking the last three characters of that string. If it is already equal to ing, I wanted to add ly. Okay, else I'm adding ing to it. Okay, so I can also add another else here. Okay, else I still want to add ing to it. Okay, so if I run this program, so my sample string is abc, and after modifying it is abc. Okay, now you have any questions?
No question yet?
Okay. So what I was planning to do is that taking the last assignment, adding ABC and ABCing. Okay. Let us try creating a list. Okay. New underscore list equal to the same thing. Let's do in terms of iterating it through list items. Okay. So I would say clean. Okay. And I'm trying paint. Okay. I am saying eat, I'm saying enjoy, I'm saying aspire. Okay, this is my new list. Okay, for the same list, I wanted to iterate through the list, and same thing, I just wanted to append ing to it or ly to it. Okay, let me create a new list item called string. Okay, so for this, how do we go about doing it? Okay, yeah, you can also try it parallelly. Okay, the same thing, the same example that which I was talking, ABC, I wanted to do it ABCing. Okay, or ly, if it is already having ing at last, it should say ly. Simple. Okay, you can also try it from your end. I'm doing it just to ensure that we have understood the concepts that which we've gone through. Okay, so now I'm creating a for loop for this. Okay, for list item in new underscore list. Okay, we have learned couple of things here. Okay, again, probably going forward we can take it. Now let's make our life simple. Okay, now we are checking. What do we do now? We check the list item. This is the new list. Okay, and when you say list item, it goes through the occurrence, the first occurrence of it. So list item will have the first occurrence. Okay, we are checking if list item starting from -3, which means that the last 3 digits, you are checking if it is equal to ing. Okay, if it is equal to ing, what you're doing, you are trying to add ly to it. Okay, so I would say new list item equal to list item plus ly. Okay, now before that I wanted to create a new array. Okay, new modified list equal to this. Okay, else what do you want to do? So I have a condition else. Okay, else list item, or okay, since it is already there, so else I would say that new underscore list item equal to list item plus ing. Okay, sounds good. Now once the loop is being finished, what I'm trying to do is that new modified list dot append new list item. Okay, and now once I'm done with this, I'm trying to print my new modified list. Okay, and I'm saying new modified list. Okay, now let's see. Okay, my new modified list is this. So it's saying cleaning, painting, eating, enjoying, aspiring, and finally stringly. Okay, now I wanted to iterate these two newly created lists. Okay, and ensure that everything like clean and the corresponding ing form, paint and corresponding ing form, eat corresponding ing form, enjoy corresponding ing form. Okay, it has to be like that, like it the output, the expected output is clean cleaning, paint painting, eat eating, enjoy enjoying. Okay, so how do we do that? Any ideas? How do we achieve that?
Again, you can open your mic if you want to talk.
Okay, now let's see. Okay, what I'm trying to do is that, okay, first we'll iterate loop in a loop. Okay, I just wanted to make a random variable. Okay, and I'm looping for looping in it. Okay, for original list item. Okay, what is our original list item? Our original list item is new underscore list. Okay, for that item, okay, we have to loop in a loop, right? For a list item in new modified list. Okay, so what am I trying to do? So again, still you are taking the last ing forms. Okay, this has already been written in I mean, I've already written the program just to kill the time. I'm just doing it here. Okay, now if you see this, okay, my original list is this, and I'm loop in a loop. Okay, I'm just checking the list item. Okay, if the last three is ing, the list item is this, the loop that is being created for the new modified list, which is this. Okay, and I'm checking if it is having an ing form. Okay, so if it is having an ing form, I'm removing this ing and checking if this clean and in the original list clean, if they are like the first variables of those two are equal or not. Okay, if those two are equal or not. Okay, if they are equal, then I'm taking an insert operation and I'm giving them an index position. Okay, to start with, my I will be 0. Okay, and I'm making an I plus 1 here because clean and cleaning. My original list item would be clean. Okay, and list item is cleaning. Okay, now that goes on with your ing form, and you also might want to check with ly form. Okay, so the same thing goes with your ly form. If it is ly, you are just removing those two characters and checking the first occurrence like string, like in here. If it is equating, you would be having it something like this. And finally, I'm using a sort function here. Okay, let me just try and execute it. Okay, okay, so my new modified list is this. So but after appending it, okay, after appending everything, it is like aspire, aspiring. Okay, clean, cleaning, eat, eating. Okay, now if you see, everything has been appended next to each other. Okay, any questions here? This is how we do nested for loops. Okay, any questions? Okay, moving forward. If you want, I mean, sir, based on the time constraint you wanted, because I have made another, like, okay, what my point was that now you have something like this, right? Aspire, aspiring, clean, cleaning. Now I wanted to create a dictionary, okay? My expected output is that A is aspire, okay? Since A is already been used, okay? Now since A is already been assigned as a key, okay? If it is already been assigned as a key, then I take AS and I make it aspiring. Okay, this is how my dictionary looks like. Same thing, clean, C. So remember, like a typical dictionary. Okay, so CL becomes cleaning. So how do you find your words in a dictionary? So we go by first letter. Okay, if the first letter doesn't have it, if the first letter index doesn't have it, then we go on appending letters to it, right? So we find it with CL, CLE, like, yeah, that is how our actual dictionary would be. So I wanted to create something in the similar, for the same list, we try to create the same thing. Give a dictionary, convert this list into a dictionary. So, sir, we have time. Can I go ahead with that program, or we'll give the students to
Yeah, I think we can go
try
through
it and come again?
Yeah, I think let's finish this thing up.
Okay. So for that purpose, for that also I have just made a program. Okay. I'll just copy paste that and I'll try and explain it. Okay. Now this is the program I've created for that. Okay. Now I'm just creating a new list. Okay. A sample, just a null valued list, and I'm also creating a new dictionary with null values. Okay. Now this is how I was using it. Okay. For I in range of, I was talking about a range function, right? So this is how we use it. I don't know how many times I iterate it. So I'm iterating it based on, I'm assigning an index value based on 0 to my length of side new list. Okay. The side new list is this much. Okay. Side by side new list. This is the side new list and is this much. Okay. And by the way, there is a number of ways of doing it. I just wanted to introduce, or I wanted to ensure that all the concepts that I have introduced are coming in my coding. So that is the reason I just gave you a lengthy code. So I just created a variable string item, and the first item inside new list is been there. Okay, and I'm taking the first character of that string item. Okay, and I'm checking in the dictionary in the list that is already being created. Okay, if this first value, if it's already been existing in the list, because what are criteria? Remember what I was telling, what we want something like a list, a dictionary. So if A to be the key, so first of all, dictionary is something, a key value, right? This is key and this is value, right? This is how we create a dictionary, right? So A being the key, so we are checking in the list if A is already there. So we want something like A as per, right? So if A is already been there, what we wanted to do? We wanted to append the next character to it, right? So I'm trying to do aspiring, right? So this is how we go on doing it, right? This is how we wanted the expected output to be. So if to achieve that purpose, I'm just trying to check. Remember this operator? This is a member operator. Okay, I'm checking if this first character, okay, the first character of the string that is being retrieved is already in the dictionary list or not. Okay, if it is in list, okay, this one I just created for my test, we can probably say it I, okay, sorry, I plus 1, this is I plus 1 and this is I plus 2, okay, I plus 3 and so on and so on, and okay, this and so on, it goes on. So if it is already been, if the first character is already there, you're going for the second character, you're going till second character, from 0 to second character. Okay, even if that is also there, you are going till third character. If that is also there, you are going till fourth character. Okay, and you are checking it, you are checking for every occurrence, and finally you would be appending the dictionary item whenever there is. Okay, and if you see, there is an else condition return to every if. So if it is in the dictionary, you are going further, else you are trying to append that string like as, okay, asp, you are trying to append to that list. Okay, that character string you are trying to append to that list. Okay, now if I say run this program, okay, now this will be the newly created list as. Okay, so this is how it is being created. Just if I just remove I plus 1, my I is being, since I is incremented, it is taking all the values. It is taking the values from there on. Okay, we can just remove the I and just see that. So if you see, the created list would be as, c, cl, ea, en is already there, so it is taken the third character, enjoy. Okay, p, pa, s, s, t. Okay, there is a list already been created like this. Okay, now remember the use of tuple. So tuple is that now I can make this to be a constant. This list, I don't want this to be a list. Okay, I can assign it to be a constant, because my dictionary is not going to change, or my string is not going to change at any point of time. Okay, even if it is changing, once the list is being created, to create a dictionary, it is not changing, the list doesn't change. So for that reason, I am changing the created list to a tuple. Okay, this is how I change it to a tuple of the created dictionary list. Okay, now you can see the tuple has been printed as as, just with the braces, with no square brackets. Okay, now after the tuple has been created, which means my keys are created, these are my keys. Okay, now all I have to do is that I have to assign values to it, right? So I have to assign values to it. So what do? I iterate. Okay, I iterate through the array or through this list, okay, through this newly created list. I iterate through the list depending upon the length of this list, okay. I am creating a key, okay, which is taking it from tuple, okay, and I'm assigning a value to it. The value would be the value from this list, okay, and this is how my dictionary is being created. If you see the end, okay, aspire, aspiring, clean, cleaning, eat, enjoy, enjoying, okay. This is how my dictionary is being created. Okay, any questions here? This program is already been there on website. Okay, this has already been there. So, any questions?
We'll wait for it. If you guys have question, you can ask in the chat box. Else, you can always email.
Yeah.
Thank you, Preethi.
Yeah.
One thing I want to add on right now is that unless you guys practice it, make mistakes,
Right.
you're not going to learn. The more you make mistakes in coding, the best coder you will going to be developing to yourself. So in order to be a very good developer, try to make as many mistakes as possible. Because if you're not making mistakes, then you will not going to know how to basically create solution around it. What is the problem? How you going to? Where did you make the mistake? How do you? What was the actual mistake was, and what was the actual solutions were? So you have to try. Again, we can just give you these suggestions. Preethi can give you tips and explain you the concepts, but if you are not practicing, this will not going to stay in your head. This is not something that will be there. So you have to practice. You have to try to use it somewhere. Okay, I think this is it for the day. We can. If you want, Preethi, you can send them some. Send me what you want them to do as a part of the assignment.
Yeah. As part of the assignment, I was giving some questions. 3 questions or 3 to 4 questions.
Here. Okay. So
Okay.
try to send it out to them. Send these assignments back to us before next Thursday.
Before
Tuesday.
next class, next class it would be great. And sir, if I can just have a mail or a contact, or if I can just send it to you, you might want to forward it to them. Because things like probably over class, I might have created something dynamically. So I just wanted to ensure.
I will add you to the WhatsApp group, and you can send it. So
Okay.
they have a WhatsApp group, so I can just add you up, and that will be much easier rather than sending the. So I'm just adding you in that group right now.
Okay. Sure. So it would be, as I said, as I was mentioning, the more you do, the more you get hang of it. Python is generally, actually, it's a simple language, and it is more readable, user friendly. So the more mistakes we do, we tend to learn many things. So that is how it is. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Let's see. Oh, there are some comments. Okay.
So on the same program, you might want to make another. Just try it out. I'll just explain in the next class. In the same program, like we have created like this, right? So why not we club aspire and aspiring together? Okay. So something like A. Okay. This is possible in the dictionary. Okay. Aspire. Try it out. If you find it, it is. It involves some logic here, but I can tell it in the next class. I already have a code also with me. Okay. So why not try something like this? I was trying it last night. This was interesting. So I wanted to have a list, combine all A's together or all C's together, make a list out of it. Okay. So see, check it out if you can make this program. This is just this is not mentioned in PPT, PowerPoint, but I was trying it as my personal thing. I was just trying it out last night. So if you can if you also wanted to try, you can.
All right then. I will.
Isma, did you send it to my email or did you send it over chat? I did not get some solutions to my previous email. Okay. Okay, Isma, I'll just check it out and I'll let you know. Thank you so much.
Any other thing before we close? All right then. Inshallah, we'll talk to you guys on Tuesday then.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye. Okay.